Hello and welcome to 44 Teeth's 2024 Isle of Man TT preview. And what better person to do it with than Mr. James Hillier. James, thank you for coming.
No problem.
How's WTF racing? What's the latest?
Good. I think we had a pretty not we didn't get any podiums, but we had a successful Northwest. I would say we finished all 6 races, and to be fair, the boys have worked so hard, and probably hard to explain quite how much goes on behind the scenes to be where we are at the moment. But they're still flat out now, re-prepping the bikes for Isle of Man next week. But that's what it needs to be, and they're on with it. So,
and it was quite a late change, wasn't it? Because relatively late, really, going from Yamaha to Honda. I mean, from my understanding, Yamaha didn't want an official presence at the TT, so hence why OMG had to form this Honda team, essentially. And also as well, so are you on the latest Honda or are you on the old Honda?
We're on the old Honda.
Okay, right. So you've got no problem with engine parts, or
thankfully, yeah. No. I mean, at the time when we made the call, we didn't know there were these issues, but the main reason of that was supply of new parts, which is the same with motocross bikes are launched far earlier in a year for the. Whereas this Honda job seems all a bit last minute. So I think I feel in a good place. The bike's definitely not going to be. It's up to the job.
How different? I mean, you've obviously spent so many years on Kawasaki. You jump on the Yamaha, and that was like it was a pretty sweet bike to ride in general, wasn't it? Go from short circuit to TT to everywhere, and then you jump on another screaming full pot, and it just must be completely different.
Similar to the Kawasaki, and a bit. And probably more so. I explained to people like a big 2-stroke, it really revs, and the more you rev it, the faster it goes. But the Yamaha kind of dropped off. It had a load of like mid-range power, and then didn't really do that much at the top. Which road racing we need sheer speed and rev, so it should put us in a good place, I think.
Well, thanks for that little intro, James. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play.
Oh gosh, right.
No. No room for error. Series 2 trailer. Now, what better way to warm up for this TT preview than to watch this? This will get the hair on your balls tingling.
If you've got hairy balls.
Do you trim?
No, it's too much aggro.
Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah.
I was going to say something. No, I won't say it.
Do you shave your bum hole?
No. Sometimes it's on for hygiene reasons, maybe a bit of maintenance, but
okay,
that's enough. Isn't it?
Anyway, back to the trailer.
The TT, it's about the freedom.
It's indescribable, the feeling it gives you. It's just immense.
I am a little bit nervous about this one. I'm absolutely shitting myself.
Why am I doing this? Whose idea is it? It was stupid. This is a stupid idea.
Yeah, there's definitely some nerves, but I think nerves are normal. You wouldn't be human if you were racing around this place without nerves.
Why do I do it? I don't enjoy it. How could you? Ride around there nearly 200 mile an hour trying to hold on, sweat going into your eyes, and still come back every year and still mad to do it for some reason.
It's racing, of course, maybe in the best place on earth. The mountain course, it's amazing, it's spectacular. But more than this, it's about freedom. When I'm on the mountain mile in 6th, flat out, I feel 100% free.
It's Neanderthalic that you can get on a bike and race past people at 200 mile an hour, 2 feet away from them. Out of control, but in control.
Boys are doing 135s, are they? Fuck's sake. Even if the bike was right, we're still wasting our time.
To be truthful, I'm hoping this may be his last year. I don't know. He just loves the place.
I know he's thinking, in his head, everybody thinks it's the Hickey Harrison show. And I don't know, he's hungry this year.
Records, every record's going to be broken. You know, that's the nature of life.
Now, if that doesn't get you wet and warm for the TT this year, I don't know what will. But yeah, it's No Room for Error, Series 2. I had a little rumour as well. So obviously that's coming out in May, be on ITV. And you can stream it all across the world. So TT Plus, Live Pass. Once again, last year, we did the show with Booley last year. And now we've got an upgrade in the co-host. Last year, we did the shout out. We got a code for TT Plus last year, and within, I think, hours, it sold out. And once again, for this year, we've teamed up with the TT organisers for a code. So yeah, 44Ters can use the discount code 44TT20 for 20% off, limited to the first 4,444 users. So there's a link in the description, or might even put it in the pinned comment. Go on there, click it, get 20% off. It's only $19.99 anyway, so I don't know why you wouldn't. But yeah, get 20% off and enjoy live coverage. Obviously, there's quite a few changes this year. Whittam's back. I mean, that's fucking cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I miss. I mean, I don't actually watch much
No,
of
funny
that, but Whittam is a he's been there, done it, walked the walk, so he can have a true sort of word. It's I find that helps when a rider or a commentator has been there and done it.
Yeah, so Steve Day and Whittam will be sort of leading the show. There's more cameras this year. There's more. There's much more production, but more of a premium feel to it. I think we should start off with some Superbike numbers. So let's go 1 to 20. I mean, obviously we can't go through everyone in detail, and for Super Sport and Super Twin, but let's go 1 to 20 with Superbike and work our way through. Number 1, Mr. John McGuinness, MBE. Are you surprised? I mean, you're pretty close to John, aren't you? Are you surprised he's still going? I generally thought last year might be his last year.
No. I thought for a very short space of time, you can sort of see it in his eye. He just lives it, and it would be a very big hole to fill if he did walk away. We can obviously still come and watch, but I think once he does step away, then he would never really be able to come back. It'd be very hard to come back. So he's still clinging on, and this year is riding strong. So
I tell you what, I hope that Honda can get the bikes right, and that even mind you, even the super stock bike. I mean, it's like what did Dean clock 205 mile an hour on a super stock bike. So yeah, there's obviously been some issues with parts and a little bit of reliability with the Fireblade. A lot of the superbike riders in BSB have gone through engines. And that's why they were on the Superstock bikes at the Northwest, just because they didn't want to risk going to the TT without Superbike engines. So, I think he's definitely worthy of a sneaky outside each way bet for a podium somewhere, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised. No, he's definitely still got the hunger and certainly got the ability and the speed. So on his day, he proved that at Northwest. He was riding probably faster than you would expect, and I expected him to. We know he can ride, but he's definitely still hungry for it.
Yeah, definitely. Number 2, another sort of dark horse, really. It's Jamie Coward. I mean, certainly a super sport contender for sure, small bike contender for sure. But back on the KTS racing, he's on a Honda. Was he on a Yamaha last year?
Honda
was
Yamaha
Honda.
600.
Yes, of course, yeah.
He stepped up last year. He got a good start number and kind of brought up into that kind of elite group. And you can't argue he had 6 strong finishes, and I'm sure he finished all 6. But it's another name in the mix, and he's going to be biting at the heels of everyone. I think it's there's certainly in the top 10. There's no slap.
No, exactly. No,
well, you're looking there further down than the top 10. I think we'll be he, as you say, dark horse definitely.
Number 3, Dean Harrison, another Honda rider. Obviously, spent pretty much his whole career on Kawasaki's, and now he's got a factory Honda ride. Obviously, I mean, the Northwest showed he's up for it and he's flying. And although his short circuit racing isn't as good as previous years when he was on the Kawasaki, I think that's just, again, teething problems and getting used to the Honda. But he's primed for this year, isn't he?
Yeah, I think not a surprise for sure, but he definitely is going to be, I would have Dean down for some race wins. His ability and circuit knowledge now, he's served way over the apprenticeship, and he's proved in the last 3 or 4 TTs that he's worthy of wins. And I just hope the deal he's done in the Honda he can make work for him, and you know, he'll be for sure one to beat, or try and beat. Yeah.
Number 4, Hutchie. I mean, good to see him back. Obviously, again, I'm not going to lie, I was slightly surprised. It's quite a quick turnaround from, you know, having, if you didn't know, he suffered a stroke beginning of last year, while cycling in Spain, and you know that's a quick old turnaround to be coming back. So, but again, back on the Paget's bike. What do you reckon?
He is. I spoke with him a bit at Northwest, and me and my wife actually watched. We never really watch any motorbike stuff on YouTube. We watched the 5 minutes with Hutchie last night that they did. At
Okay,
the
I
launch.
didn't see that. Yeah.
And it's easy to forget what he's been through, and I'll take my hat off to him for his sheer determination to keep coming back. And I think it kind of sums up the mentality a little bit of road races. You just got to keep chipping away, and if you have this desire, then you have to chase it. So he, you know, and he's openly admitted he's not here to sort of try and win this year. He wants to prove to himself that he can still do it and be competitive. And then, you know, he's looking at the longer game to come back in again next year in a better place. And you know, because he's had a bit of time off, and that is going to affect your performance this year.
Yeah, a year off around there is like having, you know, a 2-3 years off on short circuit races.
Absolutely,
isn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Number 5, some bloke called James Hillier.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Do I rate you, or how do you rate it? Go on.
I don't really like talking about myself, but we'll just say he'll be in the mix. And,
Are you confident then?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel like I've done quite a bit of work behind the scenes on myself, and I don't want any excuses. You know, I don't want to get lap 5 and think, oh shit, I wish I'd done more training. Or, you know, I feel good in myself.
You look buff.
Yeah, I feel. I wouldn't say I forget how good I felt in the past, but I'd say I definitely feel sharper than I did last year. So, you know, and I felt pretty good after 6 laps. I wouldn't say felt good. I felt not too bad. Yeah,
I mean, 6 laps around there. I haven't done 6 laps around there. I've only done 4, so I can only imagine.
Yeah. It's after doing the 2 weeks at Dakar, the 6 laps was actually pretty bloody.
Yeah, true.
It took my whole perception of it was. I wouldn't say it's easy, but easier. But I feel good. The team, Bill. You know, I feel good about the whole team. Every team member is pulling their weight and grafting and putting a lot into it to kind of, you know, I have a lot of trust and confidence in everybody, and that is key there to sit on a bike that have full faith in and believe
definitely.
in. So, I feel in a better position than I was in last year for sure. The Honda is going to be a faster bike for me around there. I just down to me really, but we'll see. We'll see. I never like to go there saying I'm going to do this and that, but I will do my best. So, and we'll be thereabouts.
6, Michael Dunlop. Another one of those sort of injury rumours. He's hurt his wrist, and you know, what have you heard? What's the latest?
I heard a few things before Northwest, and then he rocks up there and sticks it on the podium 5 times. So it can't be that bad. Whatever people are saying, you know, if it is bad, then he's hiding it well. But it possibly cannot be that bad if it's if he did what he did there. So. And it's a massive year potentially in the history of the TT, you know, for him to take that title, I suppose, or to you know, because rarely has he not won a TT in a year, and well, he's probably never not won a TT since he started winning. So, you know, I think we're likely going to see that record go, and it'll be massive. So he's it's funny one, Michael. I don't speak with him a whole lot. I don't think he speaks to anyone much.
No.
But
when he's in a good mood, he's up for the crack, isn't he? He's chatty and he's.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes he talks a bit of shite, but he backs it up, and you cannot argue with what he's done. So it's I'm kind of glad he's behind me. It's tactically start position is always, it's not something we have a choice on always. They kind of rank us in rough lap time, and then also to make the races work out, so you're not getting the wrong people together too much, if that makes sense. They want to try and keep the title the expected winners, I suppose, apart a little bit.
Right, okay. Because then if you're racing on the road, then
once they're together, then the race is sort of, so they want to keep it a bit of a spectacle, and also pit stops.
Yes,
timing us in and out the pits to keep that fairly or as traffic free as possible. So
7, Josh Brooks. Back on the Monster Energy BMW at FHO Racing. Now, last year he was on a super top bike, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he did 132
something. Yeah.
So he was, he did it right then. Obviously, he's another year on the BMW at BSB, so he's up to speed on the bike. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it, with Josh? He had such a long time off, but he's and his BSB form hasn't been brilliant, but he's going to be a dark horse.
Possibly a dark horse. I think he's sort of the hot seat that a lot of riders would like because he has access to the data to overlay and can learn from the lap record holder, and so and I think it would probably be a sensible option to go a super stock bike again because that is what holds the lap record.
Yes.
I'd say he's in a good place. He's obviously serious because he's back again for another go, and I take my hat off to Josh really because of his kind of background and world level, I suppose. He's done World Superbikes. To come and race at the TT is
it's not normal, is it?
No, not many would do it because they comes with a lot of expectation. So
who was the newcomer ex World Superbike recently? Oh, he only did 1 year.
Pass.
Italian guy. 53. Polita. Yeah.
Alex. Yeah.
Yeah. He had a bit of a shock to the system, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that can happen. You hear it. They don't publicise it a lot, but people come and have a go and go, nah, not for me.
Yeah.
And you either it's a love-hate thing. Yeah. I think, it is one of those things where you can kind of like the idea of it, but yeah. I was going to say something, but I'm not. But it's one of those. Yeah.
Feel free to say it. We'll just cut it out.
I've got to try and remain professional. I've got my team wear on. So I'm
fine. Number 8, Davey Todd on the Milwaukee BMW. I mean, he's flying, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's on a super stock bike because he was faster on a super stock bike by miles at the tests than he was at the super bike. So he's going well. He's done his apprentice now. He's maybe not quite, but he's still learning. He's got the worst of it over. So I think
I mean sheer riding ability. He is probably at the moment, I would say, one of the most talented on the grid. The way he's riding at British Championship and has done in the past. So I don't know how many TTs he's done now, but possibly if the conditions are a bit sketchy, or that's where the more experienced riders will have the edge with damp spots and things. But I don't know. I think it's making me more nervous talking about how fast everyone is. I tried
should have picked yourself up.
Yeah,
more,
I tried and convince myself that they're not that fast and that I can go again, beat them. So, but going by his recent results, he's smoking everyone at National Superstock and a very strong Northwest 200. So definitely one in the mix in the hat for race wins this year.
Number 9, Craig Neve, Batham's Ailes Honda. So Craig just is one of those kind of is a name that, like Jamie Coward, up until recently, he's one of those names that sort of goes under the radar a little bit. But again, getting quicker and quicker
for sure. And he sort of off the radar, but I was speaking to somebody and he's done some strong lap times, so he's obviously worthy of that start position. And for sure Higgy won't be far behind him and soon passing him, I'm pretty sure. And he'll get a good lesson in we'll learn a lot this TT with that start number for sure.
Number 10, Mr. Peter Hickman.
But he's pretty handy, isn't he? And lap record holder.
Yeah,
I've been watching his onboard lap on YouTube.
Do you still do that
all the time? Yeah. Especially now in the kind of race month, I suppose, or when we start going, just to recap and just reinitiate myself with certain sections. And it's always good when it gets to a point when it feels all right. Like this, I can watch a lap and go, that doesn't feel too fast. obviously it feels fairly different in reality when you're doing it, but it's just good to get your brain and eye in a bit.
Yeah,
so.
sure. Are there any bits that you look at and go, pick up on? No.
Not really.
Because it's all, I mean, I suppose over 37 3/4 miles, it's little things all around the course. It's not like you go, he's much faster there.
Yeah, no, it's very close, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's tense here and tense there. And I think, especially with me last year on the Yamahas, giving away quite a lot of time on the straights.
Yes.
So, especially compared to the speed of those BMWs. So,
what were you giving away, like 15 mile an hour?
I think on they on the BMWs, they were consistently over 200. I think we like 191. Maybe not even that. I don't know, but that adds up over 37. You're not doing that speed the whole time, obviously, but
you are for a lot of it.
It helps. Yeah. So I don't know it, but for sure he's got a lot of data. He's back on the same bike, same team, tyres. It's all. He's one of the few that have kind of stayed put and be back on the same machinery. So they should be able to hit the ground running in practice, and he'll be. Probably the one everyone's chasing.
I mean, even last year when they couldn't get the bike working, he pulls it out of the hat.
Somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, really.
Yeah, and even the R7 in this twin class, you wouldn't...
Yeah. That's so slow.
Yeah. And everyone breaking down and or whatever happened, did penalties or whatever, and then next thing he's on the top step. So, but that bike looked fast at... the R7 looked fast at Northwest, so he should be strong over there as well on that.
Number 11, Connor Cummins, local lad, on the Malenko by Paget's Honda. Heard a little rumour that things weren't too rosy over in that camp from my sources. Connor was very late signing to the team, wasn't he? I think he might have been looking for something else, or maybe had something else in the pipeline that didn't materialise, and Connor's back with his beloved Clive. So, what do you reckon?
I mean, he's... I think he beat me in. He's had some fourths and thirds in the last couple of TTs. He's definitely a podium man, and as you say, I think he was kind of looking around for other options.
Yeah.
And I've been in that position myself a little bit, where you're not always, what you've got isn't necessarily bad, but you want to see if there's anything better. Or
the grass might be greener.
Yeah. So he's obviously decided to stay on his side of the fence, and he will be in contention for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm positive, like obviously living there and being able to just drive daily on the racecourse is going to give you a little bit of an edge over some of the others.
12, Davo Johnson at the Platinum Club Racing Kawasaki by Lee Hardy Racing. Davo, I think I was just thinking this on the way here when I was thinking of stuff to talk to you about, other than the stuff we've already discussed. But I think there's one person that got affected by COVID the most for the TT. It was Davo. One of, surely.
What do you mean? That he just said
sat at home, drunk beer all the time?
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's what I kind of had in mind. He told me some stories, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
had a good time.
Yeah, I think he had a great time, yeah.
So he just sort of, Davo was on the up, and then obviously the COVID things happened, and Norton happened, and other stuff, and it just I don't think he's ever quite reached his potential.
No, I'd agree. He's shown some good signs at TT, but I think that Kawasaki won't be a bad bike for him. So hopefully he can just knuckle down and chip away and see where he'll be sort of thereabouts. Probably the tail end of the top 10-ish, and the bike's reliable. He might get a few surprises, but.
Now 13, Lee Johnston. I mean, gutted for the lad. Gutted.
Very.
I mean, what that kid's been through over the last year is just been mind-blowing. So, So, unfortunately, he announced... Was it last week that he wouldn't...
The beginning of... Recently,
that he wouldn't be at the TT. And it's not surprising, really, walking around with a cage on your leg. But if there's anyone that was going to make it, even if he had to ride with a cage on his leg, I don't know. But it would be Lee. But unfortunately, it's just, not enough time. So... But wish you the best, mate. And like I said, what you've been through, just fair play. 14, the old dog, Michael Rutter. I tell you what, I haven't. Obviously, I've known Michael over the years from the BSP paddock, but I haven't known him. And I got to know him pretty well last year.
He's bloody grumpy, isn't he?
But he's bloody hilarious at the same time. And what a bloke! Like, I've obviously I don't know him as well as you, but sharing the awning, sharing mechanics with the BMW Cup last year, I just always looked up to him because he's a legend. But I've got even more respect for him now, and I just love the fact that he's still having a go.
A lot of respect for him to keep going. And
because how old is he now?
52, I think.
Is he? So what's his racing age? 40, like low 40s, mid 40s, yeah.
44, maybe. Yeah. But he I had a good beer with him at Navarra BSB round, and he was telling me stories of when he was a newcomer at TT, just picking his brain, and it was so different back then.
Yeah.
But fascinating and interesting. But he'll be, regardless of where he is, he'll have a smile on his. Although he is pretty miserable, but I'm sure he'll be smiling in his helmet when he's riding around on his own.
So he's on an ex-FHO bike.
Yeah.
So he basically got the bike. His Macau bike. Yeah. So Faye's given him, my understanding, Faye's given him that bike to ride this year. So I think that's brilliant. I think fair play to him. Yeah. Also this year, we got this is actually, no one knows about this yet, but this is fresh off the press. And by the time this video goes out, it will be public knowledge. There's the parade lap to celebrate life and TT careers of Tony and Michael. 7 wins each, 38 combined podiums, 170 combined starts, 30 years since Michael's debut. I mean, 30 years, can you imagine that? 59 since Tony's debut. Glen Helen 1 is being renamed as Rutters. Did you know that?
Wow, no, that's nice.
Yeah. Cool. And Glen Helen 2 will just become Glen Helen.
I don't know if he's going necessarily to try and, certainly not going to try and win. He's going there for a good time and enjoy the course, and kind of envy that a little bit because the pressure's off him.
Yeah.
Not that you get a lot of pressure put on you, probably more yourself, an expectation. But he's certainly going to have an enjoyable TT, and fair play to him. A lot of respect for what he's achieved and done, and to still be doing around there is pretty special.
And just that consistency of speed as well. He's not, although he's not 135 man, he's still not hanging around, is he?
No, and he's got that weird style or different style that looks like he's going slowly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Special guy.
15, Rob Hodgson. He's done well to get a decent number this year.
Yeah, and again, I think a little bit off the radar. Behind the scenes, he's chipped away, and possibly in the small bike classes, he'll be definitely a bit further up. Yeah. But another big learning year for him if he can. A lot of this, not necessarily in the race starts, but being in that top 20 gives you a bump up in the practicing. So if you're sharp out the gate, you can get out earlier, and then the quicker guys come past, and you learn. So for sure, these guys are they should be prepared to learn and sponge it all up.
I remember my first actual flying lap. I was is it Molyneux's at the end of Cronk, the Cronk Straight?
The right at the end.
Yeah. So I was there, like absolutely shitting myself, thinking I was flat out, and this knobber comes fast like that. One-handed, going about 20 miles an hour faster. Just literally, I'm like, just hit the apex, and he comes underneath me, and then does that, taps on the body, like, yeah, okay, come for a tow, mate. Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll just, yeah. I mean, yeah. Number 16, Dom Herbertson. Dom. I mean, what did he do last year? 1-3.
He chipped into the 130.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if it's the last lap or he just broke in.
Yes, and that was that video of him finding out when he drove through Parc Ferme.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very, very envious of that. But what do you reckon?
Well, I don't know. Was set up last year, but he's in with the team at the Burrows engineering team, so he is. It'll give him a bit of relief, hopefully, and their experience can pass over to him, so he can concentrate a bit more on his riding. And again, if in practice he can get away with a few faster boys, it'll either wake him up or he'll learn. And he's in a good place there. So for sure.
17, another wily old fox, Mr. Gary Johnson. He's still
here. I mean, back actually.
Back.
Because he was injured.
Because me and Boothie were spent the sort of 5 minutes taking the piss out of him when we were shooting this the video last year about the TT preview. Little did we know that same day or that the day before, he'd had this massive crash at Ematra.
Yeah.
And I think there's footage of it now of him crashing on coolant or oil.
Someone had a water leak, but they still had antifreeze in their bike, and shouldn't have happened.
No,
it did, and so he spent some. I remember him sending me photos of his hospital food, and but it wasn't even really food. Didn't look
like
anyway.
mushy peas, and
weird,
potato, and swede.
But, so he'll be.
Do you like swede?
Oh, yeah, I do actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Awful, awful. I thought the same category as broccoli and kale.
Swede as like as a bit of a. Where do you live? Bath way, West Country.
Yeah.
I'd have Swede as quite popular in the West Country.
No.
I'm technically.
No,
I'm about. Anyway.
No. Gaz, yeah. I mean, it's just glad to see him back at this day. That's my opinion, because it was a big one and he was smashed up. I don't think anyone really knew the extent of it.
No, and as any racer, you convince yourself it's not that bad, and I think he passed that on to other people, sort of thing, to a degree. But he was about the paddock last year and not a great shape hobbling around. But do you know, I regardless of where they finish, the fact that they're even back doing it, and you just know they're going to get that Bray Hill feeling heading down there again. That's almost a medicine in itself, and will get these guys going. So.
18, Sean Anderson on the Team Classic Suzuki. Again, sort of creeping under the radar a little bit. He's got quicker and quicker, and that bike. I mean, I can only imagine that bike must be an absolute delight to ride around there, because it's well balanced, well sorted, and he's going from strength to strength. So.
They build a nice bike, and it always looks the part. And he's one of those, there's a lot of the people who watch TT probably recognise the name, but wouldn't be able to tell you what he looks like.
Yeah,
but he is. He's another one off the radar, but chipping away, and I wouldn't say underrated, maybe just off the radar, maybe not quite so known, but I'm sure we'll see him chipping into the top 10 potentially this year.
19, Phil Crow. I mean, this guy is a fucking legend. I mean, he's had his tummy tuck and his what do they call it, a gastric band?
Yeah.
And he's lost however many stone, but he still must be what, 18, 19? Because he was 25, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he did the Superstock test the other week at Ogden, and he was
like sick, wasn't he? 5 or 6. Yeah.
I had to read it 3 times to believe what I was seeing, and he can ride a motorbike. Yeah. So if he's in the right headspace and going good,
and
then,
fit, which he is.
Yeah. I think
because he wasn't fit last year, was he? He broke
some
bones
somewhere.
at Cadwell.
Yeah, that was it. So he was a bit sore. I think he even missed the last. He couldn't move on the bike very well. So if he's in a good place this year, I think he'll be doing some big things, and
big things.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Castle Combe at the Grand National, and I was like, I was out there riding. I think it's like sort of mid noughties, late noughties, 2007-8, and then I was like, right, I'm the local king here. I'm going to win this. And then in practice, I had it. And Phil comes past me, bolt upright, bum in the middle of the seat, back in this K8 in, K7, K8 in, twin exhaust. That's what I remember, the twin exhaust coming in my visor. And Phil, who was 25 stone at the time, thinking, who the fuck is this? And it was Phil Crow. And that's my first taste of Phil, so to speak. But that guy, legend. Number 20, rounding off the top 20 starters this year, Mike Brown on the rise again, and do you know he's riding in Aprilia?
Yeah,
he did.
I don't know if I'd want to ride one of those around there. If it works, then and keeps working, then it'd be great. It'd probably be quite a nice bike, but they've not got the best record of reliability, especially when you're trying to get something around there to last for 6 laps. Is very demanding. So, but certainly a talent. And the smaller bikes, I'm not sure his start numbers on the 600, but
he's right up there in the Super Twins.
And he was leading the twins last year, and it broke down. Yeah. So he'll be in the mix for sure.
Yeah, he's a gritty fucker as well, isn't
he? Yeah,
yeah. Just riding with 2 broken legs.
Yeah,
pretty much straight off crutches onto the bike. And
I shared a hospital ward with him last year in the Northwest. Yeah, it was quite interesting because I never really ever spoke to him until we got there, and he had no phone or nothing to get hold of anyone, and my missus was giving he borrowed my phone to ring and sort himself out, but it's quite funny because I couldn't really understand him either, but it was it's funny how friendships or relationships grow in weird environments, but it was interesting.
Talking of other sort of weird, well, not weird bikes, but bikes that you think That's a bit strange. Obviously, the Aprilia is going to sound amazing on open pipes. There's no Stetson track day noise limits there. It's going to sound amazing. But what do you reckon on the Panigale V2? But my initial thought was, how's it going to do 2 laps?
There's a few questions really. I think on obviously it's Davey. If anyone can ride it, I'm sure it would be Davey who went exceptionally well. He put it on the podium, didn't he, at Lara when he wildcarded, so he adapted to it pretty quickly. And I guess time will tell. But I don't know if the chassis will be quite stiff. For, I think I always rely on an amount of chassis flex. A standard chassis seems to work better at TT when you're crossing the cambers in the road and things. So. Yeah, reliability and handling is certainly going to be fast enough. The speed will be good, sound will be good, handling debatable. It will be good in some sections, but maybe not others. And then reliability and fuel economy is.
That's another.
I'm sure they've done their calculations because they wouldn't have they wouldn't be even getting the thing out of the van if they didn't think they could finish at 2 laps. So we'll see.
Any other business? Got any gossip? Got any juicy gossip?
Nothing too exciting. I've got another hot sauce triple pack.
I saw McGuinness's advert the other
day. Be abusing a few people with that, hopefully, or allowing other people to abuse their fellow friends and
or botties.
Family. Yeah, if they wish. And I'm planning on doing a TT diary thing on my YouTube. So maybe give that a shout out to. Give that a follow. Look out for my. We can put some in the link.
Put some in the link. Put a link in the description. Yeah.
But
so you film yourself, or
I've got someone to help film it and edit it for me because I'm pretty rubbish at that. But
I'm sure you got your hands full as well.
And I'll be busy. But to capture a little bit behind the scenes, just on what goes on throughout practice, how the races go, and
nice.
I'll probably do a tour of my caravan or something and enlighten everyone to my family life of 3 kids. And things, so it'll be a bit different, but that's something I'm planning on doing, and amongst other things while I'm over there, like riding and all the kind of commercial stuff that we end up getting roped into. And
the other big news, we'll save this final nugget. I mean, not a lot of people might not even know who Ricky Carmichael is, but Ricky Carmichael is coming to the TT. How fucking cool is that?
Didn't know that.
Didn't you? There you go.
Yeah.
2 bits of dub plate information I've surprised James with.
What does he do? I'm joking. I do know who he is. I guess it'd be something Triumph, is it? And Monster Energy.
Triumph and Monster, yeah. I'm guessing. But
cool. Any big names to come, and they kind of spread the word and spread the love, don't they? To introduce the TT to other people, and that's I think what it's about to protect the future of the event and make it as big as I think it should be.
Yeah.
So it should be a good year. Hopefully the weather's on side, and we all have a good, safe run, and I can have a fairly successful run, and. We'll see.
And you just close on this. So obviously you're not old, but you're not young anymore. That's probably the politest way to put it.
Thanks.
Have you still got that drive? You still got that will every year just to go right. I'm going to line up.
Do you know? I think scarily, the older I get, the more I feel I want to go, because you convince yourself you're going to live forever, don't you? And you're going to get old and do all these amazing things. As you get older, you'll do it one day, but the older I get, the more I realise that isn't the case. So I need to do more now while I can and still physically able to. So I don't think my wife will watch this, so I've always told her that I'll stop soon. But it's scary how life, where it takes you. And but I feel more determined at the moment than ever to keep doing not stupid things, but just things I enjoy. Do it while I can. A bit like Michael Rutter's still out there, and you maybe your goals change a little bit. At the moment, I still 100%. I'm out there to win and achieve, but I don't think there's much sign of me. It would leave a very big hole if that's the problem with it. It's like it's an immense drug that you can't get a fix anywhere else for. So I love it.
Right, thanks James, thanks for watching, and don't forget to get your TT Plus code 44TT20 in the description, and don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. Bye.